Black Lives Matter activists have met with most of the Democratic candidates and are starting to reach out to Republicans. If they reached out to you, would you meet with them, and what would you propose to address racial inequalities in policing and the criminal justice system?
Oh, sure. I'm happy to meet with just about anybody. Now, I would point out that if you look at the Black Lives Matter movement, one of the most disturbing things is more than one of their protests have embraced rabid rhetoric, rabid anti-police language, literally suggesting and embracing and celebrating the murdering of police officers. That is disgraceful. And I'll say more broadly, one of the most disturbing things we've seen in the Obama administration has been the vilification of law enforcement. You know, it wasn't that many weeks ago that I attended Deputy Goforth's funeral in Houston. Sheriff's deputy who was shot. Dr. Ed Young, the pastor of Second Baptist Church, delivered the eulogy. And he talked about how the mission of law enforcement is actually encapsulated in the Lord's Prayer, and in particular the words, "Deliver us from evil." And the calling, and indeed he talked about how the Levites, the priests in Israel, wore blue just like the officers wear blue to protect ourselves, and their mission is deliver us from evil. You know, when people say Black Lives Matter, absolutely Black Lives Matter, and the consequence of President Obama and the Attorney General's vilification of law enforcement is many more black lives have been lost. We are seeing in inner cities across this country crime spiking because police officers are afraid to do their jobs because they get targeted, they get attacked, they get vilified for protecting us. You look in the city of Baltimore. This past summer, the month of July, the bloodiest July we have ever had. 50 people were killed, 45 of them were African American. You want to talk about Black Lives Matters? That's 45 dead black lives. Because of the rise in crime, it was the bloodiest month since the 1960s in Baltimore. And I don't think it's an accident that when you vilify and attack law enforcement, these honorable men and women that risk their lives every day to keep us safe, that they pull back, and that the murderers and rapists are only encouraged, that the police are afraid to protect us. Absolutely Black Lives Matter, and the best way to protect black lives is to keep them safe from murderers and criminals who would prey on them, and at the same time also to bring back opportunity. Let me point out, if you look at who's been hurt by the Obama economy, it is difficult to find a demographic in this country hurt more by the Obama economy than the African American community.